I know I've talked about this a bit before already, so I won't belabor the point, but every time I start to make progress in any type of work, hunger or pooping or sleeping, not so much sleeping, hunger or pooping takes over. I have to do it, because I have got to, mister. Just too hungry. Too hungry. So, good news everyone, got my A7 III back, they repaired it. It's good to go. I'm not going to take this out into the wild, ever. Sony cameras have proven themselves to be unreliable at best. Beautiful images, but not very sturdy. All right, let's get dressed and go to class. This needs to be updated, it's April. Okay, pants, shirt, good to go. Actually, before we go, let's do the dishes real quick. Bam! Tough acting to acting, bam it up a notch, etc.
You know what's weird about being a human? There's a lot of stuff that's weird about it, but one of them is just sometimes our inability to face reality. It's so many times a weakness, but it's also kind of a positive at the same time. See, our inability to accept reality often will lead us to make actual changes and to do things that nobody thought possible. But at the same time, sometimes it prevents us from fixing problems that are right in front of our face because we refuse to accept that they're actually problems. And I bring this up because I've got my one camera that's really good for the outdoors. I got my one camera that's really good for the indoors. And I want both of them to be good for both things, instead of acknowledging the fact that one of them is good for one thing, the other one's good for the other thing. And I think part of the reason why I get stuck in that type of thinking is because theoretically, they could make one camera that's good for everything. It's just nobody's done it yet. And I mean, if you want to get conspiratorial, then it's because they want to keep selling cameras. But I'm not really that inclined to get that conspiratorial. I think it's more just, I don't know what it is. Accepting reality. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. I've been teaching dance classes for 9 years next month. And I was thinking, I used to be able to teach like 2 classes a day, 7 days a week. I was like, well, multiple things happen. One is I am 9 years older now, and 2, that's an insane thing for anybody to do. Anyway, it's time to go home, get some vegetables, and eat dinner. Nothing like, some good exercise, a good dinner, and then checking the internet. Oh, that's 11 right there, son. All right, time to write this music. The battle continues. Will I win the battle? No, I always lose. But I never stop fighting. Writing music is by far the most difficult yet rewarding thing that I do. And it is just so difficult. Like, when it turns out well, and you make a song that you're really just like grooving to, one of the best feelings in the world. But sometimes to get to that point is just... Anyways, I'm not complaining. This is the same old story. We know what to expect by this point. I'm just pointing it out. Ooh, that's good. I got a bunch of new sounds for music. I spent all day looking through. I wrote one good song. I think one good song a day is a good baseline. If you can do 2, that's really good. If you do 3, the third one usually really sucks. Or it's just not as high quality as the other ones. All right, give it to me, baby Voyager. Do you remember the other day I got this camera back from repairs and I thought it was fixed? It's not fixed. But I've got shoots coming up and I need to do those, so I just have to send it in afterwards. That is real annoying, dog.
right, it's time to create some healthy habits once and for all. I'm spending 30 minutes outside every morning to get some sunshine. Another thing that I decided to do is I'm going full black and white on my phone. I used to have it as a shortcut, but I would turn it off all the time. I've just removed the shortcut. I'm leaving it on black and white. I have plenty of other devices that I can watch full, beautiful color with good sound. If I want to do that, I will take the time and actually sit down and do that. But for now, it's time to take a shower. I need to go to the grocery store real quick. And then it's time to, I don't know what it's time to do then. Also, good Lord, it's finally warm enough to open the windows. All the windows are getting opened. Let's go to the grocery store real quick. On those days when motivation is high and you're feeling good, you've got to strike while the iron is hot on those days. Because those days don't come every day, and no matter what I seem to do, it's difficult to make those happen on purpose. So, in the times when they do happen, it's... So, while the iron is hot today, I'm going to finally go through this book. I got like maybe, how many pages? I got 77 pages in out of 1,196 or something. Part of the problem was I knew a lot of this already, but I think I just need to be less, what's the word? Less adamant about picking up every single detail and just getting through it so that I can start to osmose some of the knowledge and then, I don't know. Well, point is I don't want to leave it on my plate for the rest of my life. So, let's do it. Okay, that went pretty well. I got another 70 pages in. I learned some new things. For example, you can assign keyboard shortcuts to adjusting audio keyframes. That could be pretty useful. Okay, I just may have a buyer for these big speakers. I've had a couple of bites, but then as soon as I respond and say, are they still available? I say yes, they never respond again. But today, somebody might be coming to get these, which will of course bring me one step closer to my goal of finally getting this garage in check. It's close, it's real close. I need that camera bag still, damn it. So anyway, yesterday I went over to have dinner with my family at my aunt's house. And she's got this pantry just full of all sorts of stuff like this. And whenever I go there, I always steal some stuff. So I got some sort of like chocolate bar or something. Well, stuff I would never normally eat, and especially normally never buy. But, got some of this almond milk at the store today too. That is, wow, that's a super stimulus right there. Us humans weren't made to deal with this type of flavor. Perfect flavor. Man, I gotta stop ordering so much stuff from Amazon if for no other reason than to just prevent so much cardboard waste. So many boxes. This probably means that I'm a serial killer, but I like to sort my laundry before I wash it. Take inventory of everything. I mean, I wash different stuff with different stuff anyway, you know, but still probably a serial killer. Actually, I once saw like a Facebook post or something that said, if you unpack your suitcase the day you get back from a vacation, you're a serial killer. And that is definitely something that I do. But I wouldn't say that that's a serial killer thing. That's a prickle and goo thing. As I was saying before, I am definitely quite a bit of a prickle, and that is one of the things that I do that is very prickly. Prickles and goo. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this jug before in a vlog, but this is filled with laundry detergent. It actually really sucks. Like, it's terrible, and there's 5 gallons of it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just use it until we run out. We're not gonna run out for like years. So I'm sorry, but I've gotta use the Tide. Tide is
like magic. You don't need to use much. If you got a stain, you can pre-treat it and it like works incredibly well. If you're using something besides Tide, I'm gonna have to hear a real good reason for it. Not that I've used like every detergent, but the ones I've used, it's pretty good. So I think that'll do it for today's vlog, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Find out if all of the laundry did indeed dry. The answer will be yes. So anyways, my aunt. So anyway, yesterday I went over to them. Anyway.